Hey guys, hope you're all having an awesome night. So I'm gonna do a quick check-in with the energy. I'm giving you guys some spirit messages. The energy has definitely been really intense. It's been a lot of ups and downs lately. Just kind of like not sure where you're coming, not sure where you're going, just like a lot. A lot of people are working through the specific chakras that they have blockages in. There is a strong emphasis on solar plexus chakra for most people right now to help with coming into your power, in your truth, sitting in your confidence and things like that. They're showing me like the lion, like the strength cards. So there's definitely something with finding your inner strength and your inner power. And Spirit's been kind of intervening, especially like the last week with a lot of towers for people. Not necessarily triggers. I try to explain that I think the difference between a tower and a trigger. So like a trigger is somebody says something to you and it might just like upset you, or there's like an emotional reaction there, or there's an emotional, reaction within your body. Whereas a tower is something that's like more, it's like bigger, or it invokes like a purge, or invokes something really deep within you, invokes some type of change or understanding or awareness or things like that. So there's been a lot of like towers and things going on to kind of disrupt patterns, to kind of help you getting out of certain cycles. Like they're showing me specific towers are like to help with removing blockages and stuff. It might seem like it's blocking you, but it's really not actually blocking you. It's helping you open up, and they're showing me like a lotus flower, like opening up. So it's helping you blossom and open up. Definitely it was feeling like for the last few weeks for a lot of people, they're like kind of in this dark tunnel of energy. Not really sure where they're coming, going, not really understanding some of the stuff coming up, feelings in your body, pains, thoughts, energies, emotions, things like that. There's just kind of a lot of chaos, a lot of confusion. I'm still seeing some waves right now, so it's still going to be going on, but it feels like there's going to be like a little break to help you kind of like gain your footing, and then like there's going to be like a few more like triggers or towers to really like push you to where you need to be. And that's especially for people who are ending like a long cycle, and they're saying 717. So some of you, this might have started around July 17th, where this energy, actually that, I think that I'm going to have to look at my calendar. I think that's kind of where it started for me too. I'm going to have to look, but yeah. Like where the some of it, so it's going to be coming soon, like to an end soon. There's a lot of other things going on behind the scenes. There's a lot of changes like in the collective energy and stuff. The support. So if you're going through like a lot of stuff, or you're just feeling like chaotic, feeling imbalanced, feeling like on edge, like all these things, like definitely ask for support, ask for guidance. You can ask Spirit for help, or you can, reach out to your friends, even like a therapist or something like that. Reach out to somebody who's a good support, somebody who will listen, somebody who will understand. Like you don't have to go through all of it alone. And sometimes, when you talk to people, it just helps you be seen and heard and get things out. If you're going through a lot, try to do something for yourself, especially like self-care. Like this is why my hair is like a freaking mess, because I just got out of the bath. I just took like a nice long salt, which is why my cheeks are probably still red too. I took like a nice long salt bath. And I've actually been in pretty chaotic energy the last few weeks, and I finally feel some sense of calmness tonight. I'm like, I know other people are going through some stuff. So I just felt like this pulling to do a reading tonight. So I'm guessing people probably need some like messages or guidance. But yeah, there's so much going on. So like, yeah. All right, let me pull some cards. We'll see what messages we get from Spirit. Definitely a lot of like anxiety energy too, like a lot of fears coming up, a lot of anxiety like in the collective is coming up as well. Make sure you're detaching. That card just flew out. Sacral chakra flew out. Make sure you're detaching when that stuff's going on, because yeah, we got 3 chakras. Like make sure you are, because like if you're picking up on other energies, like on social media, when the collective's going through stuff, or we're going through like big purging cycles, everybody's kind of in their own emotional stuff. And so sometimes people will be posting shit having to do with their own, personal stuff. And then so it might relate to you or resonate with you, but it's not necessarily factual or like something that's helpful, even if you relate to it, because, that's one person's perception of something, and it might not actually fully relate to your situation. But I've also noticed like social media, I've been staying off it the last few days. Like I won't even scroll most of the time, because there's just so much heaviness on social media. There's so much arguing. There's so much, negativity and stuff. So just make sure like that you're cleansing your energy if you're going on them, or, there's other stuff going on. Just make sure you're like aware of the energies around you, having to do with what you're watching or listening to or things like that, like because you might be intuitive or like emotionally, energetically picking up on stuff, and it could actually be screwing with your own energy and your own emotions and triggering you. So I got moving on, and we got recognition and reward and new beginnings on the bottom. I guess we're pulling all three of those. So there's definitely something with a lot of you guys ending a cycle. And spirit like is seeing all the hard work you've done, and because of that you're going to have a new beginning. There's something that is going to come forward for a lot of you guys. Hold on, I'm going to read the rest of the cards and I'll see what else we got. So we got a lot of fives in here too, which is about like changing, releasing, letting go, which we got the letting go card, right? And I love the bottom, it's 122.55. So we have obstacles and challenges, root chakra, destiny, heartache and loss, sacrifice, which is like the releasing card, sacral chakra, emotional loss, throat chakra. So it definitely feels like you guys are having some type of situations, really not sure what to do, really feeling like you're just constantly like jumping over like situations where it's just like one thing you work through and then another thing comes up and another thing and another thing. And it's a lot of it's fear stuff, a lot of it's anxiety, a lot of it is things with feeling safe, feeling secure, feeling in control, feeling stable. And it's like a lot of your grounds and your foundation is being really rocked at this time to help you with actually getting true stability, true safety, true acceptance and things like that. So we have destiny and heartache and loss. Oof, I just feel so much anxiety when I am looking at this. It just feels like maybe something's not working out the way you wanted it to. Maybe there's some type of grieving that you have. It feels like something that maybe you wanted to work out long-term or something that you were hoping for. And it's like you're working through the motions and the energy from it. Not necessarily it's not going to happen or it's not going to happen the way you think, but like it more so feels like this grieving having to do with something that you're wanting. And it's almost like a good thing though, even though it says heartache and loss, it's almost like this releasing and acceptance. And for some of you, it's working through your heart center. It's like coming into your heart and trusting in the divine and knowing that it's all going to work out for you. So there's some type of release with that specifically for some of you. So in the middle, we have sacral chakra and emotional loss. Some of you, I'm hearing sexual urges. So there might be something that's going on emotionally having to do with your sexuality, sexual urges, possibly sexual soul, things of that nature. But also there's something to do with your power being taken. Very specifically, Spirits, like there's like where you feel like your power is being taken or you've given your power up to somebody. Like, and there's something with you releasing that as well, specifically from your heart. And if you notice, these two cards are on top and bottom. So you have like the woman holding the heart, you have the man holding the heart. It definitely feels like the feminine masculine are going through a cycle that's similar but different. It's similar in the sense like you're releasing, you know, things from heart center, but it feels like they're releasing different things at this time. And you know, this can apply regardless of gender. So we have the sacrifice card and the throat chakra on the outside. And what I'm getting is a lot of you guys are learning to like let go, letting go of words that were said to you, things that were said to you, things that have really like affected you. See, I was like asking, is it communication? I'm not getting communication at all with the throat chakra. I'm more so getting, this is words and things that you've held on to that people have said and learning how to release it and letting go. Rainbows might be significant for some of you. But really there's a lot just release, pretty much like so much letting go and releasing at this time. Hey, Angel. My little fluffy Nuffy. All right, we're going to pull from the angel answers, actually. I haven't pulled from these in a while. I think I did like a few weeks ago, but... All right, we have romance on the bottom. Romance and no need to worry on the bottom. Ask your angels. It definitely feels like there's big shifts in relationships right now, romantic relationships specifically, but it could be relationships with friends, family, platonic, even exes. Everything's working out, like Spirit is saying, like everything's working out. Some of you need to stand in your power. You need to ask for your needs to get met. You need to say what you feel and what you mean and stand up for yourself for some of you. For some of you, it's just like I'm getting from Spirit, it's just like a transition, like a cycle you're going through, they're going through. You'll come back together at the right time, but you kind of maybe need to do this apart. And it doesn't mean you're physically going to separate from them. It just might, like, there might just be some distance within your relationship at this time, or might have already been occurring. For some of you, it feels more current than anything. It feels not even future, more so current. It's going to get better. It's just, there are certain cycles and healing that needs to take place, and some of you guys aren't on the same level. So it's like this imbalance there. So you got the situation will improve, improving health, get more information. There's definitely something with everything you're seeing is not always what it seems. Like, you need to trust your intuition more. Some of the shit that's coming up is healing stuff. It's not actual fact or truth, or it's not going to necessarily stay this way the entire time. But there is something that is going to look up. Like, they're showing me like the sun and the rising card. So there is something that's going to get better in this situation that you're maybe struggling with, or it feels like a lack of clarity with whatever this situation is. It's like there's no clarity. You're really unsure. You're uncertain, like what to do, where to go. You know, could be a relationship, could be a job, could be something, you know, with a business, personal endeavor, whatever it is, right? There's just like a lack of clarity. Like with the improving health card, it definitely feels like there's blockages being released in your chakras at this time, and it's actually opening you up to your heart. And what I'm getting is it's opening you up to heart center to really start trusting in that rather than fears. So a lot of you guys might be working through illusions of fears. So a lot of fears might be coming up, or a lot of like the ruminating thoughts and stuff are coming up to help you with clearing fears. So you know what a fear feels like versus what like intuition feels like, so you can remove blockages for other things to come forward for you. All right, let's get final messages. Wow. Okay. We got relationships, reflection, connection, fears, the warrior. That's why I was laughing. I kind of want to get like 2 or 3 for the top. Peace, humanity, and let's do one more for the top. Okay. And we got support and divine feminine. We got foundation on the bottom. So yeah, some of you guys are like growing your roots right now. Like some of you guys are like doing stuff below the surface. So, oh, by the way, I'm drinking my crown chakra tea. Hold on. I'll show you the message on it. It says, you are totally complete just as you are. For whoever needed that. But anyway, so with the foundation card, it definitely feels like there is stuff going on below the surface. We got the root chakra, which is all about our foundation anyway. So there's definitely something that there's stability coming. We might not maybe see it, but there's definitely stability coming, and there's like branches kind of going in different directions. They're showing me. So there's definitely a lot of change coming. So at the top, we got peace and humanity. I definitely get this sense of collective energy. Definitely this sense of like working through ego stuff so we can come to a place of calmness and peace and a place of love. Don't feed into collective fears. Don't feed into collective division and all that shit. Like, don't feed into all that bullshit. Like, stand in your power, stand in your truth, but you don't need, like, what I get from Spirit is you don't need to share every fucking opinion with other people. Like, especially if it's an argument and it's something that's unnecessary. It's not where it's something that's affecting you, somebody doing something to you, whatever. It's like social media shit or just like getting into other people's business. Like, stay out of it. Like, don't even get into all that garbage that's going on right now. Like, come into your inner peace and your inner power and do good for yourself and for other people. So we got support and divine feminine. There's definitely a lot of emotional energy I get with divine feminine. There might be some mother and father healing like at this time, some feminine wounds at this time where we actually allow love in, where we actually receive from other people. There might be some towers and triggers. For some of you, there's going to be some type of intimacy that might actually trigger some type of emotional healing within your feminine energy. It definitely feels like it has to do with mother wounds and something to do with, so you could be a man that has to do with, you know, like a woman you're with or something like that. But it definitely feels like some towers or triggers specifically around this and learning how to accept and receive love. I said this before about the support, definitely reaching out for support when you're going through stuff, because there is a lot of energy going on. There's a lot of collective shit going on. And it's sometimes really difficult to deal with. And I will tell you, you know, I feel like I'm usually a pretty solid ass person when I'm going through some stuff. And I honestly fucking couldn't even handle shit today. Like, I ended up talking to my friend for like 2 hours. I was just like, oh my God. I'm like, I don't even know what to do. Like, just everything's fucking chaotic, like whatever. And I was just like, it's not even that I needed advice. I just needed somebody to fucking talk to because I needed some damn validation because I was just feeling like a mental case, honestly. Like, and I don't say that, you know, for anything with, you know, like mental health issues, obviously, but what's interesting, I just happened to look down at the support card and it says feminine wound healing with the divine feminine. So there's definitely something with that, but it's more so like asking for support and also supporting yourself as you're going through this challenging time, because there's a lot of emotions and energy. It's also important to allow that stuff to flow rather than trying to change it, rather than trying to fix it, rather than trying to understand it, just letting it kind of flow and letting it go. Like, you know, when the thoughts come up, the fears, the feelings, because I've noticed even in my body, I've been feeling it a lot lately physically when fears and thoughts and stuff come up, like my whole body. And it's like letting the thoughts go, letting them just flow out. Like, you don't need to attach to them. You don't need to understand them. You don't need to, you know, like something comes up like for me and normally I'm like, well, that's not true because this and this, because this person said this or because this person did this instead. And instead of fighting with the ego, I've just been trying to let the words flow, let the thoughts flow, and then they kind of go away. It's like the more we try to change them or try to, you know, understand them or try to fix them, like the more you actually attach to it and then the harder it is to deal with. If you just let it flow and stop trying to figure it out, like a lot of times it just goes away easier, usually. Okay, we have relationships and reflection. We're doing it like that. Connections going with both sides. So there's definitely changes in relationships. I told you that before. There's definitely something with mirroring going on and reflection going on. There's mirroring going on in your relationships, but it feels like the opposite ways. So like almost like anxious, avoidant, where like the one gets anxious and wants to cling and the other gets avoidant and wants to run. So it's like, that's what I mean when I say opposite. So it's like if you're going through father healing, then your partner might be going through mother healing. Or if you're going through you know, feeling insecure about one thing, they might be feeling insecure about another, like certain things like that you're mirroring. So it's like where one person's not showing up, the other person's getting triggered, the other person's getting triggered and is, you know, triggering this one. So there's a lot with that right now, a lot of duality going on. It is actually helping you connect. And also I'm getting is collective energy is going on too, that you're getting triggered by as well. There's big changes in relationships. And the reason why is because we're working toward healthy relationships. We're working toward relationships with ourselves and others where they're healthy, with a place of empowerment, where they're not ego, where they're not trauma, where they're not, you know, I'm attaching or I'm avoiding or I'm clinging or all these things. And like, not that there's anything wrong with that by any means, but like where you're feeling better in your relationships, you're feeling more secure, you're working through those deeper fears and stuff. And it's to help you when you spend time with each other to genuinely enjoy each other's company rather than triggers, rather than fears, rather than all this other shit. So there's definitely something with the collective, because they want me to do it like this, with fears, which I've been kind of talking about for like the whole time, and something with balance and justice. So definitely, like I told you with the humanity card, is like really working through your own shit and stop putting all your fears on other people. Like when you're going through a situation, like say you're going through a fucking situation in your a relationship, whether it's family, you know, romantic, friendship, whatever. Like this is what I'm getting from Siri, is like you're posting shit on social media and you're like perpetuating this certain belief system within you because of your own trauma. Not necessarily reality, your own trauma. Not that it's invalid, but it's not necessarily actually real, right? So it's like, then you're posting this shit, then you're triggering other people's fears, or you're creating more fears for people that maybe they're like, oh shit, well, what if this happens to me and all this stuff. And so it seems like a lot of that's going on right now. I don't really notice it because I don't fucking go on and deal with that shit. I can feel the energy of heaviness on social. I just shut that shit right down. Like I won't even look at it. I can't even deal with it. So I'm sure it's going on because of what they're saying. So whatever this shit is that they're talking about, like stop fucking feeding into it. If there's a lot of fears coming up with like videos being shown or shit on the news and all that stuff, do not feed into the fears. Don't feed into the fears. There is a balance coming. You're going to see that whatever all these fears are that are coming up, it's actually to trigger people to heal. But it's like they don't want you to feed into it. That's the whole point. They want you to work through it and release it, not feed into it. And there's something with you coming to peace within yourself that's going to help with collective stuff. But I also get some of you, this is individual stuff. And some of you, this is fear specifically having to do with connection, having to do with friendships, having to do with intimacy, having to do with relationships. Some of you, I'm getting like it has to do with because of your mother or father. Some of you, and it could be any or all of these, old relationships and even old friendships, old areas where you weren't standing in your power, where you weren't trusting your intuition, things like that. So that's definitely coming up. But they want you to know that, like, even if you're not really seeing, you know, the work that you're doing, or you're not seeing the balance coming, or it just feels like things are so up and down and chaotic, like, they want you to keep moving forward, and they want you to trust. Even if you can't see what's in front of you, they want you to trust and focus on you. And when you focus on you and you stand in your power and your strength, it's going to help you with healing stuff within you and outside of you. And what I'm specifically getting is, if you need support, ask for it, whether it's spiritual support or it's human support, whether that is a friend, even a coworker, you know, even somebody, you know, that you run into. People come into my store and I talk to them about their stuff all the time. So it's like, you could, you know, sometimes spiritual places, even you can book like readings with people to sometimes get the answers or support or calmness and stuff like that, to kind of help you work through stuff. But there is something with doing stuff and asking for support, asking for guidance, asking for help, and making sure you're open to receiving it. And it's going to help you come to a place of centeredness and peace. Like, now is not necessarily the time to be like, you know, putting yourself, being by yourself. Like, now's the time, especially when you're going through the difficult shit, to actually ask for support. So I hope that this message helped, and I'm wishing you guys so much love and light, and I hope you have an awesome day.